Hello and welcome to another update video about ETH. Yeah, quick middle of the day update. ETH is so far going according to plan. In the previous video we talked about that we could have the D wave low in now of this triangle and would expect an E wave rally at any moment, and this is exactly what we see right now. I mean, the chart is quite messy, so please don't be surprised if the perspective changes, but been talking about this triangle now, been talking about that for over a week now. It's yeah, performed nicely. Lower highs, higher lows. The breakout points to the downside should be clear. Here on this chart, they are 1590 as confirmation, but 1580 will be even, will give even more confirmation. By the way, this is obviously the Elliott Wave triangle. I prefer the yellow wave count. Suggestion is, and expectation is at the moment, for it to break to the downside. First fib level that will be there as support is 1533. Next one is 1455. Regardless of these, I'm not telling you it will hit one of them and turn around directly, but this is sort of these are levels to watch. We need to pay attention to these though for reactions, and it will depend on the subwave structure that's going to unfold. For now, the base case remains one more low, no change at all. I told you many times the relevant levels where the perspective would change. A minor change in perspective will be above 1700, because then I would have to reevaluate the chart. This would be an invalidation of the triangle as it is, because the E wave cannot break above the C wave high, and above 1724 I might look at something more bullish. Yeah, I mean, bullish scenario, of course, possible from here. As I said, we can have bottomed, but it's just not very clear. It just doesn't give me a very clear setup. I don't believe it until I see it, basically. So this would be here a wave 1 to the upside, wave 2 to the downside. We would now be in a third wave, but it would need to break above 1724 to confirm. Then we still need a 4 and a 5. And then we have at least a bottoming structure. And then we can look for the ABC structure, which should happen afterwards. Yeah, basically the ABC pullback afterwards to re-enter maybe then for a third wave rally or something. But at the moment, this is just a potential that's there. It's just a possibility. As I said, we are not focusing on possibilities. We are focusing on the probabilities. Yeah, so expectations would be for this next drop to finish off this entire wave 2 correction. There is still the potential for a bit more of a complex correction. For example, it is possible, let me see, it's possible that we get something like that, A wave, B wave, C wave in a flat structure that would just delay the last wave down, but it would still lead to the last wave down. It would just delay it, would be basically a fake out to the downside, a corrective recovery, and then we could still get the last low. You know how how markets sometimes work. This is a possibility that exists on this chart. Nothing I like, but it's a possibility. But ultimately at the moment, yeah, it's going according to plan. Don't be surprised if the micro perspective here changes, but so far it's not. We could also already be in the 1-2 setup to the downside in the white wave count. Just something I have sketched out here because you wouldn't see the difference between the yellow one and the white one. You might see the difference further down below. But at the moment, what we are waiting for is now for the E wave to peak somewhere. But I need to see a reaction before price breaks above 1700. And yeah, above 1700, we would just probably get a reset of the wave 4 a little higher. It wouldn't be a triangle. But again, you know, this is it's a bit messy. So don't be surprised if the overall perspective changes. It's normal in a correction. But for now, for over a week now, this wave count hasn't changed. It's guided as well through this. Even this last dip yesterday happened, and now the rally. So what would be an ideal target for the E wave? I mean, we have 3 waves up already. It could be that it gets just one more high. And if we talk about targets, I believe we did that in the last video. I take the length of the C wave, I go to the low of the D wave, and ideal first target would be 1665, and then 1691 is the next fib extension level to watch. So it could, yeah, it's getting close to the completion of this triangle, hopefully. Hopefully we wrap it up this week. Bear in mind, we also have core PCE inflation data come out this week, some unemployment data. So it could generate some volatility. But so far, if you zoom out, nothing happened really. So don't be too much focused on the micro, but I'm still happy if you tune into these videos. So hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.